Hello friends, I am Dr. Deepak Garg. I am an orthopedic surgeon and today we will discuss articular cartilage injury in the knee joint. So, the most common cause for articular cartilage injury in the young age group is trauma and in the old age group are the degenerative changes. So, the patient will present in the OPD usually with pain, effusion or with mechanical symptoms. And if the cartilage injury is on the femoral side, it may lead to the medial pain. Medial pain is also seen in SPONK, that is spontaneous osteonecrosis of the knee, and it may be worse with weight bearing. And if the cartilage injury is present on the patellar side, patient will have pain with kneeling, stair climbing or prolonged sitting. So let's classify the articular cartilage injury. So the classification is according to the International Cartilage Repair Society and there are 4 grades. So the grade 0 is a cartilage is intact, grade 1 is a superficial, that means that there is just a fissure or just a crack. Grade 2 is a lesion less than half thickness of the cartilage, and grade 3 is a lesion more than half the thickness of the cartilage, and grade 4 is extending to the subchondral bone, that means the full thickness tear of the cartilage. So what are the treatment options? We can have non-operative or operative treatment options. In the non-operative treatment method, we will have the aim of just to decrease the load on the joint. So we may keep the patient non-weight bearing, walking with a walker. We may use braces. We may ask the patient to lose weight. We may ask to alter the activities. We can go for physiotherapy including the muscle strengthening, and we definitely will have to use analgesics or anti-inflammatory for maybe some time. Then there are the operative methods. So these are the options, various options that we have for operative method. We can go for arthroscopic debridement and lavage. We can go for abrasion chondroplasty or microfracture technique. We can go for osteochondral autograft transfer, or we can go for autologous chondrocyte implantation. Let's look at all these surgical procedures one by one. Let's first look at arthroscopic debridement and lavage. So the indications for arthroscopic debridement lavage are patient have minimal symptoms and the size of the lesion is small. It's less than 2 square centimeter. That means for example 1.4 centimeter into 1.4 centimeter. That means it should be less than 2 square centimeter in area of limited weight bearing. So our goal with arthroscopic debridement and lavage will be to reduce the inflammation and mechanical irritation. We are not trying to repair or restore the anatomy. So the steps of the surgery are: first we will enter the knee joint arthroscopically and we will smoothen the surface of fibrillated articular surface, that is called chondroplasty. Then we will do some meniscal trimming if required. Then we will if there are some osteophytes, then we will do saving of the osteophytes. And if the synovium is inflamed, we may have to remove the inflamed synovium to alleviate the pain or to improve the mechanical irritability. So second procedure is abrasion chondroplasty or microfracture technique. In this technique, the indication of this technique is lesion is very small, less than 2 square centimeter in low demand patients. So in the abrasion chondroplasty, we will penetrate the avascular cartilage layer into vascular subchondral bone to stimulate extrinsic repair. So we will go arthroscopically at the area of the cartilage defect. So we will clean the cartilage defect and we will enter to the subchondral bone. So we will remove the abraded cartilage. So that area will be exposed and there will be bleeding from the subchondral bone that will form a bleed and that will heal by forming a fibrocartilage. So if we look at the long-term results, so it can have improvement in the symptoms in the initial phase, but fibrocartilaginous repair appear to deteriorate with time, beginning at about 18 months post-surgery. That means in the initial phase, patient will have some pain relief, but it will start deteriorating with time, specifically about after 18 months of surgery. So the next procedure is a osteochondral autograft transfer. So this is comparatively a better procedure because we are here trying to restore the cartilage. So this is indicated in a damaged area up to 2 square centimeter from the area of less weight bearing. So the steps, we will enter the knee arthroscopically and we will take the graft from some low weight bearing area and then we will put the graft in a damaged area which is a higher weight bearing area. So we can take it as a single large plug or we can take multiple small plugs, and if we take the multiple small plugs, this is called mosaic plasty. and the results appear to be durable with this procedure. So the next procedure is a autologous chondrocyte implantation. So when the defects are very large, less than 10 centimeter, and there are multiple lesions, then that autologous transfer may not work. In such patients, we may have to go for autologous chondrocyte implantation. So we do it in two stages. In the first stage, we will have to take the graft. So we take enter the knee arthroscopically. We take small amount of articular cartilage or subchondral bone, and then we send the sample for the growth of the chondrocytes, and we will get the sample from the lab back with where we can have multiple chondrocytes. We will we can take the chondrocytes in the injection, we can in the syringe, and then we will have once we have this sample back, then we come to the second stage. This is usually after 3 to 6 weeks after the first surgery. So the second surgery is an open surgery where we have to implant the cells into the chondral defects. So we have to create a scaffold where we can inject the graft. So we will take the periosteal graft, and we will put the periosteum, we will suture the periosteum over the defect, and then we will inject the chondrocytes into the graft, into the damaged area between the periosteal and the subchondral bone. So this is called autologous chondrocyte implantation. So this was about the cartilage defects in the knee joint. So keep learning, guys. We will keep updating. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.